So now today we will understand something called as bytes data type.
Bytes.
So what is this bytes data type? It is just like an array. We'll come back to array also. A byte data type, it will represent positive numbers from 0 to 255. Okay. So bytes array can store numbers in the range from 0 to 255, and it cannot store negative numbers.
Okay, 0 to 255 and
Only positive numbers.
Negative, only positive number. Like total 256.
Yes. So how do we define bytes? For example, let's say I am taking a array like this. I say items is equals to all numbers only, no? I said 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Okay. So this is one list of byte numbers. So byte numbers means 0 to 255, right?
Okay.
It is 0 to 255. So this is items, which is list of numbers, binary numbers. I mean bytes numbers, because it is under 255.
Yeah.
Okay. Now how do we make it as bytes? Take a variable x equals to bytes of pass items into this. Now this will become bytes. Okay. So items, it is having some numbers. No, you are saying x equal to bytes of items. Simple. Now
so here we are changing items to byte.
Yes. Items
An item could be anything.
Items is just a list of some numbers, or I can say, instead of confusing, I'll say this as some numbers. Okay. So I say these numbers I am converting into bytes now. Now I can
one question. Like numbers is equal to this the bracket. So like for numbers we use this only, this bracket.
Not numbers. Here numbers means not exactly numbers. Don't go with the physical numbers. So I'll say
no. I am just asking about the
elements. Bracket. Elements. Yes, square brackets only.
Yeah, for like
anything you want to put like a list, default is square bracket. Okay.
Okay.
So I say bytes of elements. Elements. Okay.
An element could be anything between 0 to 255.
255. Now how do you print? I say I want to print x of what is the location 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I say I want to print x of the location 2. So 0, 1, 2 is nothing but 30. So if you execute this, it should print 30. Got it? Yes?
Yes.
Now this is 1. Now if you want to print all values, you should use something called as for loop. Okay? Because this is consisting of so many numbers. So one by one, if you want to print, you have to give so many print numbers, right?
Right.
So many print statements. So for that, we have for loop. Simply say for I in what? X, no? Yes, for I in X. Okay. So this is called as a block of statement. Whenever you are executing a block of statement, colon is example loops, conditional statements, colon is mandatory. Now come here and print what you want. Print what you want to print? I value. Simple. Okay. So I in X means I will go to X. So one by one. So it will I in X equal to print of I. So I will become 0, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. When it is printed, it will just come out and stop. That's it. So right now, run tests, execute. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. It printed all the numbers, right? Understood?
So here we are using for loop.
For loop, yes. So please execute this on your machine now.
So for I int x and colon.
For I in X, not int, for I in X. So I'm taking a variable. This is for some variable in
X.
the we call them as collections. So collection can be anything. It can be array, it can be bytes, it can be byte array, it can be string, it can be anything. So for variable in collection. So anyway, we'll come to the for loop specifically. As of now, for I is a variable. For I in what you want X, print I. That's it. Simple. Okay.
Okay.
So execute it. Just give me 2 minutes. I will be back. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I am back.
Okay.
Okay, now you see what I will do is you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, right?
Yes.
Now I will try to change the value of 30 to some number here in the bytes. So how do I do it? X of the position 0, 1, 2. So I'll say X of 2 is equals to, from 30 I will change it to 35. Okay. And I will say print X of 2. Okay. Now run this. What it is saying? What it is saying?
Byte object doesn't support line.
What is that?
The bytes object doesn't support item assignment.
In the sense, this is not mutable. Mutable means
You cannot change the value.
you cannot, once you create, you cannot make changes. So can I add anything? Can I make any modifications to the existing elements in bytes?
No.
No. So what type it is, mutable or immutable?
Unmutable.
Immutable. So bytes is always immutable.
Immutable.
Immutable. Clear now? Yes?
Yes.
Now, so this is also bytes which is under 0 to 255. Now, if I give a number from 256 onwards, what will happen?
This will not work.
Let's remove this and say for I in X, print I. Print I. So what will happen?
This will give error.
Yeah. Why? Because the range is only 255. You have given the number 256. Bytes must be in the range between 0 to 256, means 0 to 255 only. 0 to n minus 1, that is 0 to 255. So if you give 255, it will accept, no problem. See?
Yes.
So that is about bytes. Clear?
So bytes always be in numbers 0 to 255.
That is positive integers. If I try to give any negative integer here, minus 30. Okay. Now run this. What it is saying? Yeah, bytes must be in the range 0 to 256, only positive integers. It will not take negative integers. Clear? Okay. Yes? Yeah. So understood about bytes?
Yes.
Any doubts in bytes?
No.
Okay. Now we will try to understand the next data type called as byte array data type. Okay?
Okay.
Now what is this? Now we have understood bytes, no? Now we will see byte array. So this is...
So byte array and array are different?
Different, yes. Very good. Byte array and arrays are different. Byte array data type. We'll come to arrays. Okay?
Okay.
Don't worry, I will teach you everything. Now what is this byte array data type? It is similar to bytes data type. The difference is that the bytes type array cannot be modified, but this byte array can be modified.
That means it's mutable.
Mutable, yes. Now I will show you. For example, I will say elements is equals to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Okay. Now I will say X is equal to byte array of elements. Fine. Now I will print all the elements for I in X, print I. Okay. Run this. Now it is printing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay.
Yes.
Now what is the range here? This is also from the range 255 only. If you increase the number to 256 here,
that won't work.
It won't work. Exactly. See, giving you error. Got it?
Yeah.
So 50, 60. So execute this.
But we can change.
We will do that now. Finished execution?
Mhm.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let us see to modify the elements. Okay. Because
Okay.
byte array is mutable, no, you can modify the elements. I'll similarly modify the value 30 to 35. So I'll say x of 2 is equals to 35. Okay.
Mhm.
I have assigned a 2 position value to 35. So I'll say for I in x,
Print I.
print I. So 35 instead of 30, it should print 35 and it should print 10, 20, 35, 40, 50, 60.
Yeah.
Run test. See, it has modified the value
Yeah.
from 30 to 35. So what is byte array? Byte array is similar to bytes. It also has the same range 0 to 255. The only difference is that byte array is mutable,
Table.
whereas bytes is immutable.
In
Simple. If you want, I can copy this code and put it in the chat box. Where is the chat? Okay, understood bytes and byte array. What's the
yes.
difference?
Yep.
Okay. So now I will introduce you to one more interesting thing. So these are all called as collections. If you remember, I told you there are something called as collections earlier. You remember? Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
So there are so many collections. There are so many collections. What first one is string. So these are called as sequences or collections. Any name is okay. Okay.
Okay.
Either sequences or collections. So string is there, bytes, byte array.
Even these are data type also.
Yes, list, tuple. All these fall under sequences or collections. Okay.
Okay.
Sets, dictionary. So all this string, bytes, byte array, list, tuple, sets, and dictionary, they fall under sequences or collections. What is sequence or collections? It is group of some elements. No. If I taken bytes, what is bytes? It is group of some positive numbers. What is
Yes,
byte
there is
array? It is also group of some positive numbers. Difference between bytes and byte arrays. Byte
we
array
can
is
change the value.
byte array is mutable, bytes is immutable. Only that's the difference. Otherwise, all of them are stored